What a stroke can look like 24 hours before it happens. Knowing them could save you. Most people think a stroke happens out of nowhere. One moment you feel fine, and the next, your life changes forever. But doctors say that is not always true. In many cases, the body starts sending warning signs up to 24 hours before a major stroke happens. The scary part is that these signs often seem small, harmless, or easy to brush off. A little dizziness. Trouble finding the right words. A strange feeling in one arm. Many people ignore these symptoms because they come and go quickly. But if you are over 50, missing these early signs could cost you your speech, your memory, your movement, or even your life. One of the most dangerous warning signs often happens the night before a stroke, and most people never connect it to their brain at all. That is why this video is so important. A stroke happens when blood flow to part of the brain suddenly stops. When the brain does not get enough oxygen, brain cells begin to die within minutes. But before a major stroke, the brain sometimes sends small warning signals. Think of it like a flickering warning light on your car dashboard before the engine fails. The problem is that many people do not recognize the warning until it is too late. The good news is this: knowing these signs early can greatly improve survival and recovery. Acting fast may help doctors stop serious damage before it becomes permanent. In this video, we will go through the warning signs doctors say should never be ignored. And stay until the end, because the final warning sign is the one many families mistake for simple aging. One of the first warning signs of a possible stroke is sudden confusion or strange speech. A wife may stop in the middle of a sentence and seem lost for a few seconds. Sometimes a person may repeat themselves over and over or forget what they were talking about moments earlier. Many people brush these signs off as stress, exhaustion, or what they call a senior moment. After all, everyone forgets words sometimes. Everyone has days when they feel mentally tired. But when confusion or speech problems appear suddenly and feel unusual, it can be something much more serious. Your brain depends on a steady flow of oxygen-rich blood every second. When that blood flow becomes blocked, even for a short time, parts of the brain can begin struggling to work properly. Think of it like a phone call with a weak signal. The message starts breaking up, words become unclear, and communication becomes difficult. That is why sudden speech trouble should never be ignored, especially if it appears out of nowhere. In some cases, these symptoms only last a few minutes before disappearing. That is what makes them so dangerous. People often think, I feel better now, so it must be nothing. But this may actually be your brain temporarily losing oxygen before a much larger stroke happens. If this ever happens to you or someone around you, do not wait to see if it goes away on its own. Even short episodes can be a medical emergency. Acting quickly may help prevent permanent brain damage. And the next warning sign is one many people experience while simply walking through their home, grocery store, or driveway. Another warning sign that should never be ignored is sudden balance problems or dizziness, especially when it appears without a clear reason. Some people describe it as feeling unsteady while walking, almost like the ground suddenly shifted under them. Others notice they begin drifting to one side without meaning to. A person may grab walls or furniture for support, or feel like they cannot fully trust their legs. In some cases, people even fall for no obvious reason. Because dizziness is common, many people do not think much about it. They blame dehydration, standing up too quickly, low energy, or even stress. But when balance problems appear suddenly and feel different from normal tiredness, your brain may be trying to warn you that something is wrong. Deep inside the brain are areas that control balance, movement, and coordination. These areas need a constant supply of oxygen-rich blood to work properly. If blood flow becomes blocked or reduced, the brain can struggle to keep the body steady and controlled. Think of it like a GPS signal suddenly cutting in and out while driving. The system still works for a moment, but directions become confused, delayed, and unreliable. In the same way, the brain may suddenly lose its ability to guide the body correctly. This is why some people feel dizzy, stumble, or suddenly lose balance before a stroke happens. One dangerous part of this symptom is how easy it is to dismiss. A person may sit down, drink water, and feel slightly better after a few minutes. That false sense of relief can delay emergency care during the most critical time. Some people brush this off as dehydration or exhaustion, then only hours later, they find themselves in the emergency room facing a major stroke. If you or someone around you suddenly becomes unsteady for no clear reason, do not assume it is harmless. Pay attention to how quickly it appeared and whether other symptoms are happening at the same time. Fast action can save brain function and greatly improve recovery. But one of the scariest warning signs can happen during sleep, and many people do not realize anything is wrong until they wake up the next morning. Another warning sign that can appear before a stroke is sudden vision changes. And this symptom can be especially frightening because it often happens very quickly. Some people suddenly notice blurry vision in one or both eyes. Others begin seeing double without warning. In some cases, part of their vision seems to disappear for a few seconds or minutes, almost like a curtain briefly covering one side of their sight. A person may suddenly struggle to read words clearly, recognize faces, or focus on objects in front of them. What makes this symptom dangerous is how easy it is to explain away. Many people assume vision problems are just eye strain, tiredness, aging, or spending too much time looking at screens. Some people rub their eyes, rest for a few minutes, and hope it passes. But when vision changes happen suddenly, especially alongside dizziness, confusion, or weakness, it may be a warning sign that blood flow to the brain is being interrupted. Your eyes do not work alone. The brain plays a major role in helping you process what you see. Different parts of the brain control focus, movement, depth, and visual understanding. When blood flow drops to these areas, vision can change very quickly. Think of it like a lamp flickering when electricity becomes unstable. The light may dim, flash, or cut out for a moment before the power fails completely. In the same way, sudden vision problems can be the brain's warning signal that something serious is developing. Doctors are especially concerned when vision loss appears suddenly and without pain. That is because many dangerous stroke-related vision changes do not hurt at all. A person may feel mostly normal while their brain is quietly struggling. Some stroke survivors later say they noticed strange vision problems the day before their stroke but did not think it was important enough to seek help. That delay can become life-changing. This is one of the signs many people regret ignoring. If your vision suddenly changes for no clear reason, even if it only lasts a short time, do not brush it off. Fast medical attention may prevent severe damage before a major stroke happens. And the next warning sign is one of the most well-known stroke symptoms, but many people still fail to recognize how serious it really is when it first appears. One of the most common warning signs before a stroke is sudden numbness or weakness on one side of the body. Even though many people have heard about this symptom before, they still often underestimate how serious it can be when it actually happens. It may begin with a strange tingling feeling in the arm, hand, leg, or face. Some people describe it as a pins and needles sensation that suddenly appears out of nowhere. Others notice one arm feels unusually heavy or weak. A person may suddenly struggle to lift one side of their body the same way they normally can. In some cases, the face may begin to droop slightly on one side. A smile may suddenly look uneven. One eyelid may seem lower than the other. Sometimes these changes are subtle enough that the person does not notice them right away. What makes this symptom especially important is that it often affects only one side of the body. That happens because different sides of the brain control movement on opposite sides of the body. When blood flow is blocked in one area of the brain, signals to part of the body may suddenly become weak or interrupted. Think of it like a light switch that suddenly loses power in one room while the rest of the house still works normally. Part of the body may stop responding correctly while everything else seems fine. Some people notice they suddenly cannot grip a coffee cup normally. Others struggle to button a shirt, hold a phone, or walk steadily on one leg. A person may even believe they simply slept in a strange position and cause temporary numbness. But when weakness or numbness appears suddenly, especially on one side, it should always be taken seriously. One dangerous mistake people make is waiting to see if the feeling comes back to normal. Sometimes the numbness fades after a few minutes, which creates a false sense of safety. But even if the symptom disappears quickly, it can still be a major warning sign that a larger stroke may be coming soon. Doctors often see patients who ignored these early symptoms because they did not want to overreact. Hours later, the damage becomes far more severe. If you ever notice sudden weakness, tingling, or numbness on one side of the body, do not ignore it. Fast treatment can make the difference between recovery and permanent disability. And what happens next is what makes strokes especially dangerous. Sometimes before a major stroke happens, the body sends a smaller warning event called a transient ischemic attack, also known as a TIA or mini-stroke. And this is one of the most dangerous signs people ignore. A TIA happens when blood flow to part of the brain becomes blocked for a short time and then returns again. The symptoms can look almost exactly like a real stroke. A person may suddenly have slurred speech, weakness on one side, dizziness, confusion, or vision problems. But unlike a major stroke, these symptoms often disappear quickly. In some cases, they last only a few minutes. In others, they may fade within an hour. That is why so many people fail to take them seriously. Many people think they are safe once the symptoms go away. They tell themselves it must have been stress, low blood sugar, dehydration, or exhaustion. Some people never even tell their family what happened because they feel normal again afterward. But this is where the danger becomes very real. A TIA is not simply a random event. It is often the brain's final warning before a much larger stroke. Think of it like a crack forming in a dam before the wall breaks completely. The problem may seem small at first, but the risk of disaster can rise very quickly. Doctors take TIAs extremely seriously because the highest danger period often comes within the next 24 to 48 hours. That means a person who feels completely normal after symptoms disappear may still be in one of the most dangerous windows for a major stroke. This is why acting fast matters so much. Early treatment may help doctors find blocked arteries, dangerous blood clots, or heart problems before permanent brain damage occurs. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting until symptoms return before getting help. But by then, the damage may already be severe. If you ever experience sudden stroke-like symptoms that quickly disappear, do not assume the danger has passed. Your brain may be sending an emergency warning that should never be ignored. Now here's what doctors say you should never do if these symptoms appear. When stroke warning signs appear, what you do next can change everything. And sadly, many people make dangerous mistakes during the first few minutes because the symptoms do not always feel severe right away. One of the most common mistakes is waiting to see if the symptoms go away. A person may sit down, rest for a while, or tell themselves they will feel better soon. But strokes do not work like normal headaches or tiredness. The longer blood flow is blocked, the more damage can happen inside the brain. Another serious mistake is going back to sleep. Some people wake up feeling dizzy, confused, or weak and decide to lie down again, hoping things will improve by morning. But during that time, brain damage may continue getting worse. Some people also try to drive themselves to the hospital. This can be extremely dangerous. Stroke symptoms can suddenly become more severe within minutes. A person may lose vision, coordination, or consciousness while driving. And many people make the mistake of assuming it is only stress or anxiety. While stress can cause physical symptoms, sudden weakness, speech trouble, confusion, or vision changes should never be brushed aside without medical attention. Every minute without treatment means brain cells are dying. That is why emergency doctors use a simple tool called FAST to help recognize strokes quickly. The F stands for face. Ask the person to smile. Does one side droop? The A stands for arms. Ask them to raise both arms. Does one drift downward? The S stands for speech. Is their speech slurred, confused, or strange? And the T stands for time. If any of these signs appear, call emergency services immediately. Emergency doctors use these signs because acting fast can dramatically reduce permanent damage. In some cases, quick treatment can even stop a stroke before severe disability happens. Think of it like a fire inside the brain. The faster doctors respond, the more damage they may be able to prevent. Many stroke survivors later say they ignored early symptoms because they did not want to overreact. But when it comes to strokes, reacting quickly is far safer than reacting too late. And the reason so many people miss these warning signs has a lot to do with how the brain tricks us into feeling safe, even when something serious is happening. One reason strokes are so dangerous is that many people do not recognize the warning signs until it is too late. And in many cases, the brain itself helps convince people that nothing serious is happening. A major problem is that early symptoms often come and go quickly. A person may feel dizzy for a few minutes, struggle with speech briefly, or notice temporary numbness that later disappears. Once the symptom fades, the sense of danger fades with it. Older adults are especially likely to dismiss these warning signs. Many people over 50 already deal with tiredness, balance issues, stress, headaches, or memory slips from time to time. Because of that, sudden symptoms may feel easy to explain away. Someone may say, "I'm just exhausted." Another person may blame dehydration, poor sleep, or getting older. But strokes often hide behind symptoms that seem ordinary at first. There is also a powerful emotional reason people ignore these signs: fear. Many people do not want to believe something serious could be happening to them. The mind naturally looks for safer explanations because the truth feels frightening. Some people worry about embarrassing themselves by going to the hospital for nothing. Others fear becoming a burden to family members. But when it comes to stroke symptoms, waiting for certainty can be very dangerous. Many stroke survivors later say they felt something was wrong, but convinced themselves it was nothing. That is why doctors constantly remind people to take sudden changes seriously, even if they seem small. You do not need to diagnose yourself perfectly. You only need to react quickly. Think of early stroke symptoms like smelling smoke inside your house. You may not see flames yet, but ignoring the warning could allow the danger to grow rapidly. Fast action gives doctors the best chance to protect the brain before permanent damage happens. And even if it turns out not to be a stroke, it is always safer to get checked than to lose precious treatment time. The truth is, many lives could be changed simply by recognizing the warning signs early and acting without delay. And in the final part of this video, there is one message every adult over 50 should remember about strokes, survival, and the small symptoms people often regret ignoring. The most important thing to remember is this: strokes often do not happen without warning. In many cases, the body sends signals hours or even days before a major medical emergency takes place. The problem is that these warning signs are often quiet, brief, and easy to ignore. A little confusion. Sudden dizziness. Trouble speaking. Blurry vision. Weakness on one side of the body. These symptoms may seem small in the moment, but they should never be brushed aside, especially after the age of 50. One small symptom today could become a life-changing emergency tomorrow. That is why awareness matters so much. Recognizing these signs early may help doctors act before severe brain damage happens. It may protect your memory, your speech, your movement, your independence, or even your life. And this information may not only help you. It could help someone you love. Share this video with a parent, spouse, friend, or anyone over 50. Sometimes the right information at the right moment can make all the difference. And comment below if you or someone you know has ever experienced one of these warning signs unexpectedly. Your story may help someone else recognize the symptoms sooner and seek help faster. The truth is, many people survive strokes because someone noticed the warning signs in time. Fast action saves brain cells. Fast action saves abilities. And sometimes, fast action saves lives. So never ignore sudden changes in speech, balance, vision, or weakness, even if they seem temporary. It is always safer to react early than to wait until the damage becomes permanent. Sometimes the body whispers before it screams. The key is knowing how to listen. Thank you for listening. Kindly follow for more educating health tips.